Okay, you may have noticed that I've removed some videos attacking a certain user because I want to make peace, and like I said in my other video, but I also have to. There was some content in one of the videos that was not related to that I wanted, still show. So this is going to be a re-upload of that video, an edited version of that video, and I'll tell you basically what happened. So I was going to make a video in the Pine Barrens in Deer Park, right by the train station. And I take the train to Deer Park, and I enter the woods and come across a homeless man, most likely a homeless man, who was very hostile toward me, and I had to leave that section of the woods and had to make the video somewhere else that was right by the road, just very unnerving. So the issues that I'm going to talk about in this video, because it's an edit video, is basically how, the middle of the island is being screwed and how Cuomo's trying to screw us. The good news is Mineola has passed a law against panhandling, so we're making steps in Mineola. We're fighting back against this, programmed, I'll just put, I don't know what the word is, plan by Governor Cuomo to destroy the middle of the island and turn it into a ghetto area. We're not going to stand for that. I'm not going to stand for that. This is where I live. I don't, even though I miss Wantagh, I don't want to go back there for many reasons. So some of the things. So this is why I've talked about this, and the reason why those issues came up is because we came across that homeless man in the woods, which now these issues of discrimination, these issues of the dumping of troubled individuals and homeless in certain neighborhoods has now come to the Pine Barrens, and that's why we had to talk about it in this video. But like I said before, don't expect many more videos on these subjects. I will stick to mostly the Pine Barrens. It just so happened that wound up happening, and so now let's go to the edited version of that video. And again, my apologies go out to that person who is a really good guy, cares a lot. We don't see eye to eye on stuff, but he's a really good guy. He cares a lot about the issues affecting us, and hopefully we can do something in the future. Anyway, without further ado, let's get to that video. Alright, we are in Deer Park, and oh my god, look at all this trash here. It's terrible. It's terrible. Alright, we're going to the Pine Barrens on this hot day, and why are we going to the Pine Barrens on this hot day, you may ask? It's a little cooler here versus in Mineola. There's some things that we got to talk about. Oh, shoot. Nothing, I'm just going to the woods.
Yeah.
I'm just going for a hike.
You going to the woods?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me what you want.
Alright, I guess we're not going to be able to set up there. Do you see what's going on? Oh my god, we got homeless living in here. We got homeless living in here. Unbelievable.
Tell me what you want.
Please leave me alone.
No, don't you say you're going to us. You have to tell me who's us.
Please leave me alone.
What is what? Tell me what is what.
I'm not talking about you.
No, tell me what is what.
The woods. This is the woods. I'm going for a hike. We gotta get out of here. This guy's following me. He's not happy. You see what's going on at this island? Unbelievable. We have homeless living here in the woods now. It's starting, folks. This is the game here. And I have to talk about it because, folks, Long Island is being destroyed. I can't completely ignore what's going on because it is affecting, literally, it is affecting the Pine Barrens. Look at these beautiful green pines. What the hell is that? That almost sounds like gunshots. See what I mean? The Pine Barrens are being ruined on Long Island. They're being ruined. And by Governor Andrew Cuomo, that piece of garbage governor we have, is destroying Long Island. He is destroying everything. He is turning the middle of the island, which we are in right now, into a freaking slum. And I'm just so freaking irate over it. And why is this going downhill? Well, Brentwood is right on the other side of, MS-13 is probably here. Alright. See how I try to avoid these subjects, but even I'm in the Pine Barrens, they come up. It's unavoidable. It's an unavoidable situation that we are dealing with here. I think there's some flies here too, so I'm actually gonna have to go across the street there and do this video here. I do not feel safe here at all whatsoever. Alright? What a shame. You know, if the Pine Barrens are not safe anymore, then there's no point even living on Long Island anymore if this is what's gonna happen. Fantastic shapes over here. Look at how bright green they are. I got fresh cones too, you can see them. Fresh serotinous cones right here. Alright, I do not feel safe in here, so we've got to get out of here. Alright, we're going to go across by the buildings there because this is such a shame now. They're taking over the Pine Barrens. That is really the last straw for me. But these bums are taking over the Pine Barrens. So now I'm angry. Now I'm really angry. Well, the bus I'm supposed to take isn't supposed to come for a long while. It's supposed to come around 3:15. It's only 2:42. So we're gonna have to go in here, and hopefully there won't be any bumps here. Scary, man. That sound, it sounded like gunshots. I don't know if it was a firecracker or gunshots. But we got to talk about some things going on here. Over a week ago, I decided to make a change here on my YouTube channel, and I didn't actually get in front of the camera and talk about it, and I kind of wanted to, but at the time the weather was just too hot for us to do that. It's still a little warm today, but it's decent enough that I can talk about it. And as you know, I was having a lot of stress and anxiety problems, and I had to stop doing updates on the Long Island Railroad, transportation, nice bus, and discrimination. All right, and I had to stop doing that. But I'm glad others have picked up the slack. You know, I have a tendency to side with conservatives on a lot of stuff, and I'm not a fan of our president at all whatsoever. Even though I voted for him, I think he's turned his back on all the things about this country. This country's gotten worse. He hasn't done a damn thing about the illegals. MS-13, they're still killing people here on Long Island. They're still here. He hasn't done a damn thing about it. All he does is run his mouth. That's all these politicians do, is run their mouth. And Cuomo is the same way. Cuomo is actually a lot like Donald Trump. Even though, here's the funny thing about it, even though you see the Democrats and the Republicans bicker in front of the cameras, the reality is Cuomo and Trump are probably good friends and are sitting together having a good laugh at our misfortune while they help the richest people in this country and the elites and the people in the banks. All right? I've had it with these snobs. All right? I've had it with them destroying everything. And they're destroying right now Cuomo and they're all in on this together. Our elected officials are set out to ruin the middle of the island. I'm very concerned about that. Hicksville's already got full of problems with drug addicts, and they're probably putting drug addicts and Mineola too. Because the middle of the island is being targeted for ruin. And Cuomo goes there and says, oh, here's $10 million for Hicksville. Here's $10 million to Westbury. But he's just saying that to make it look like he actually cares about those areas while he's throwing illegals and degenerates and bums in these communities and burning communities who aren't 90+% white, because it's only the lily white, 90+% white, finance professional, banker communities on the Babylon branch that get treated good. While the rest of us get treated like crap, all right? And Long Island is going to be destroyed. The Pine Barrens are going to be destroyed. Not only are we're going to have more destruction and loss of trees under Cuomo, we're going to have more southern pine beetles, and we're going to have more bums living in these woods. And I'm going to call them bums because that's what they are. I don't care how bad your freaking life is. You have no right to go in the woods or go into a public place, a train station, and stink it up and make it a mess. There are plenty of programs out there to help people. And as far as criticism, comments, I recently got another comment from someone else who said, oh, you have all this time to go to the woods, why don't you work? And I said 1,000,000 times, I've got mental illness. You see what happened when I took on too much stress? You see what happened? I almost have a nervous breakdown. That's why I can't work, all right? So I'm trying to get it through these people's heads. I have no tolerance for these kinds of comments anymore. And anyone who makes comments that are mocking my disability, they will be blocked immediately and their comments deleted. There will be no exceptions to that rule, all right? And that's the way I feel about it. No exceptions to that rule at all whatsoever. I really don't want to make this a terribly long video. I wanted to just come here into a nice place and try to relax. And as you can see, that crazy lunatic in there was harassing me. And this is what goes on. This is what goes on. You wouldn't see him in Babylon. No, you wouldn't see him in Massapequa Preserve. But no, it's perfectly okay here because it's less than 90+% white. Fact is, we have racism that's endemic in our country on Long Island, and Cuomo, he is a racist. He's just as much of a racist as Trump is, all right? He just lies a little more about it and acts like he cares about the minorities. But he doesn't care because he's letting all the minority communities degrade on Long Island, dealing with gangs, illegals, MS-13, and all these other problems, while the lily 90+% white communities like Babylon, like Wantagh, like Merrick, Belmore, American Belmore, they're getting renovated. Do you believe they're getting renovated and there's nothing wrong with the stations? That was Cuomo's idea, all right? And I know Philip Eng is trying to do right, but unfortunately, I don't think Philip Eng is going to be able to do much, and I think that he is probably going to wind up getting removed, and they're going to blame all the problems on him when it's not his fault, but they're going to scapegoat him, and they're going to try to put Elisa Pica in charge. Guarantee they're going to try to do that, all right? Because they care, the MTA cares about the lily white bankers on the Babylon branch, while we all suffer, all right? And the Babylon branch had a problem last night. They are having some problems too. No line is perfect. I'm not saying it's not, but I'm still going to say they get the best service, they get the nicest stations, they have the least crowded trains. Some of their trains are crowded, but not like the main line. All right? So I don't know what the future holds for me here on Long Island. I really don't know. What am I going to do if Mineola turns into the next Westbury? What am I going to do? Hopefully it doesn't happen. I can't imagine it happening. It's the county seat. There's the hospital there. But it's in the middle of the island, and it's in that whole area that they're targeting, all right, to ruin. And it's a real shame because there's no reason for it. There's no reason for it. It doesn't make any sense. Coming from an environmental standpoint, you're putting all this investment on the South Shore, which is more at risk for hurricanes. So, no, I don't want to leave Mineola. Don't even try to comment and say that I do, because I don't. All right? I still love Mineola, but I'm a little concerned about some of the things I'm seeing there. And I know the snobs will never let me live in their towns like Rockville Center. I know all about it, all right? I was in Rockville Center yesterday, all right? And there are some really snobby people walking around. You can tell by the way they're acting, all right? You know, with their body language and everything like that, all right? You know, that whole area is just really snobby. And it's, what can I say? It's really, you know, it's really snobby. They only want to be with their own kind. All right, they only want to be with their own kind. They view me because I have a mental illness. I'm in a housing program. No, you're never going to be able to rent here. No, you're not allowed to live with us. That's the way these people think. All right, you know, and I'm gonna call them out one more time because I've had it with snobs. All right, just because you have more money, you got white skin, doesn't make you better than anyone else. This goes out to all the snobs out there. It doesn't make you any better. You know what matters when you're a human being? What matters is that you have compassion. What matters is that you respect the law and respect the people you're around. That's what matters. That's what matters to me. I don't care the color of your skin. I don't care what clothes you're wearing. It's all about how you act. And if you act like a snob or you act like a hoodlum, you are not the kind of person that we need in this world. So that's going to be it for this video. And, you know, and again, there are plenty of people out there. There are people out there dressed preppy that aren't bad people. There are people who work in banks on Wall Street that aren't bad people. I'm not saying that they are all bad. What I'm saying is there's a significant percentage that are, and they're having a very large amount of control of our government. And if Cuomo gets reelected for 4 more years and this continues, the future of Long Island is these Pine Barrens will be full of homeless. You're already seeing it in California, which is this is what liberalism does. You have bums living all over the woods, homeless, illegals, gangs. That's what's going to happen here on Long Island, in the middle of the island. And the North Shore and the South Shore will be all where the rich people are. You're not going to be allowed to live there unless you're rich and you're working in the banks and you can afford to spend $3,000 to rent a single-bedroom apartment and that you can afford to spend $1 million on a house. All right? For the middle of the island is going to be full of the gangs, illegals, and the Pine Barrens is going to just be the dumping ground and neglected. And where are we going to have to go? We're going to have to move to New Jersey. Is that what we have to do? I don't want to leave Long Island. But if that is what the future of Long Island is, if these Pine Barrens here get ruined, then there really is no reason for me to live here anymore. All right? This is what it's all about, is the Pine Barrens to me. This is my life. All right? So, as far as, you know, if that's what happens and I have to live in New Jersey, I don't know how I'm going to deal with the heat there. It's very hot there in Toms River. But I will say the people are very kind, and they have an excellent park system, and they really do value the Pine Barrens more. And Ocean County is run by conservatives, all right? And I'm not going to say that all conservatives are great, but this is what I'm saying why I'm a conservative. I believe in the preservation of things, preservation of our way of life here on Long Island, all right? Our woods, our safety, our peace and quiet. I believe in the preservation of our infrastructure network, and that means maintaining it, keeping it up, improving it, all right? I'm for the strict enforcement of the law. If somebody breaks the law, then there needs to be consequences for that. If somebody enters the country illegally, then they're going to get punished because they broke the law. So, and that should be a serious crime, entering another country without permission. All right, I'm not going to get into the whole immigration thing too much. That's the way I feel about it. That's why I'm conservative about a lot of things. And, you know, I'm disgusted with our government right now. I know probably a lot of you like this rant video. Do more rant videos. It's not going to happen. All right, I don't want to do these types of videos. They make me stressed out. So that is going to be it for this video. Hopefully we get to the Pine Barrens in a safer area, either on Long Island or in New Jersey or some other parks and beautiful natural places. I'll continue to keep you posted on the weather, but don't expect the change of scenery here. This is going to be the scenery you're going to see on this channel because we're all about the Pine Barrens and we are all about those great shapes.